it's an NFC West battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams.
Set to kick off.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Taken about 7 yards deep. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. Second and 10.
Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Out of the gun. Gone. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Gone. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Kirk now, the return man. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Murray the give. This is Drake. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Donald on the stop.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain an...
Wide open, complete, touchdown, Cardinals. Andy Isabella, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of the game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On the ground, it's Akers. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. A shotgun snap for gone. Caught by Cup. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 29-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now Goff on 1st down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Credit the sack there to Chandler Jones.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Just keeping the play alive. He's going to take off with it. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Cardinal was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. First carry now for the Memphis man, Darrell Henderson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
2nd and 9 at the 38-yard line.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Running from the shotgun with Dre. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
A gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Murray now. That ball complete to Isabella. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Gone. And it's caught left side as Woods. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Gone. And finds Juju Smith-Schuster. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
That's another Rams first down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's gone. And no coverage, and it's intercepted. Baker with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
1st and 10.
Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And the Rams defense gets to him again behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
At the 37-yard line.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. Murray with a 3rd and long. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
At their own.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On the give, this is Akers. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped at his tracks at about the 3. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
No gain on the play.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. From his goal line here, Goff. In trouble, the ball's out. He's going to take this out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Cardinals. And Isabella, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That's fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They're down a couple of scores, 16-0, as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Goff. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. That catch good for only a couple.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Goff now to throw. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. To throw is gone. Looking to set for ones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. That's sort of a 2nd quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a 2nd one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Complete.
25 yards that time.
It's a gain of
right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On first down, Drake. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
A quick throw to Ratley. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Damian Ratley, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more.
Makes the score Cardinals 23, Rams nothing. Brett Maher is set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Maher to kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Now gone. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Tackled by Isaiah Simmons. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
At the 46-yard line.
Second and 7. Here's Goff. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Flush to his right. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Shotgun now from Murray. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver there, Kenyon Drake. But it'll be 2nd down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Drake. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
And it's third down.
Now a draw to Drake, and they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Marr is good. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. Right back to Drake. Before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit. Here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On first down, Drake, and not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
second down run a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
On 3rd and short, Drake. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. Touchdown, Cardinals. Kenyon Drake, 52 yards. And the Cardinals add on.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Going right back to Akers. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. Here's Goff. His pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Baker with a pick, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
They'll take over.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll run with Drake. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
They stay on the ground with Drake. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Is good.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back to throw, Goff. He's got him in, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
The 43-yard line.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line.
The ball carrier.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Goff now looks to throw. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Goff. Incomplete.
At this point, they're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They go ahead and snap it. Goff. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Deontay Thompson. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
He's brought down.
It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
Gain of 5.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. From the gun, Murray. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far and brings up 3rd down.
5 yards to go.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Drake. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And a nice job there skipping away from the 1 tackle and ends up getting 5 yards out of that. 2nd down.
5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Counter play, Drake. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Drake on the handoff.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Cardinals on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3.
1st down, Arizona.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Drake, and he'll find his way down right around the 12. Leonard credited him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And they take a knee.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
And they will take a knee here. it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Arizona, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts.